We already covered the offensive tackles earlier this week, so I'm going to go ahead and knock out the offensive interior because this class is very good. Maybe not as deep as the offensive tackle class, but there's a lot of quality talent in this interior class. So I'm going to give you my top 10, and if you want to see the full rankings, of course, you go to ftfn.com. The link's in the description below. It's also the pinned comment. Be sure you do that. But without further ado, what's crack-a-lackin'? It's your boy Broshmo. Just in case you did not know, so go ahead, become a bro and subscribe. Leave that thumbs up if you enjoy the video. I know you're already going to enjoy it, so. Oh, man, I guess let's do this. By the way, mock the mock, we're going to put it off until tomorrow. I wanted to get this one out real quick for y'all. So you're going to get mock the mock Christmas Eve, and then, oh boy, Christmas morning, you're getting a new mock draft. Merry Christmas. I'm too giving. You're also going to get the defensive interior list probably the following day. And let's just go ahead. Let's get into it. Let's dig in. And we're going to start with Josh Myers at 10 out of Ohio State. He's currently playing center. I think he's probably going to convert to guard in the NFL, just being 6'5". Kind of scared those guys kind of get out leveraged. Also, he's a bit more athletic than he is strong. Guy's got nimble feet. I mean, he was a high school tackle. Came in. He's played no snaps at guard at the collegiate level. He's been purely a center. But again, I like the athleticism. I like the fluid feet. And I mean, I think he kind of gets overshadowed because over the last couple of seasons, he's played with monsters like Wyatt Davis and Jonah Jackson. You could even throw Thayer Mumford in there. On to the next, we got Jack Anderson out of Texas Tech. I was extremely high on this guy at the beginning of 2019. So much so I had him as a late first round pick. That kind of had to reel back a little bit just because last season he was a terrible run blocker. Not terrible, just wasn't good. And I mean, it was cut short because of an upper body injury he had and ended up missing the last 8 games. But boy, man, his biggest improvement was as a run blocker. And keep in mind, he's doing this in the air raid offense there at Texas Tech because he's already a phenomenal pass protector. But what I really like, because he's stupid strong, like stupid powerful. This guy's going to sneak into day 2 somewhere, in my opinion. But he does a great job of getting to that second level, which is extremely important in those air raid offenses. So yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan. I think he's got a good athletic upside, and the dude is just an ox. And then this one won't be popular. I got Creed Humphrey here out of Oklahoma, and part of this is because I think he's going to be a guard at the next level. This is a guy that let's start with the good dude. He's a former wrestler. You could kind of see it in his style of play. He's got very strong hands. He's very, like, he chooses when you will disengage. You have no choice in the matter. However, he does need to get stronger. That's why I think guard, might be better because of him being a little tall. He does get out leveraged, dude. He saw a dip in his efficiency as a pass blocker in 2019, and we saw it through spurts this season, but I think he played much better this year. But he was outmuscled by the likes of Quentin Williams in 2018 and 2019, Bravion Roy, who I was extremely high on. I liked me some Roy, but I mean, again, he has no prior experience at guard. And that's what he's probably going to play in the NFL. That's why I think I'm more willing to spend a day 2 pick on Humphreys. I know a lot of people like to throw him in the mid to late first, and it's just a little too rich for my taste. And I think there's just better prospects out there. For instance, James Empey out of BYU. I think when it's all said and done, he's going to end up being picked on day 3 just because of where he plays. But I mean, this kid, he's been utterly dominant. He was dominant in 2018, just as dominant in 2019. I mean, in terms of true pass sets over the last over 2018 and 2019, only Cesar Ruiz was ahead of him. And I mean, he had the 3 highest or the 3rd highest run blocking grade over that stretch for any interior lineman. Definitely a guy to keep your eye on. I mean, over the course of those 2 seasons, he only allowed 17 pressures, 2 sacks, and that was over 1,800 snaps. This season, he did miss 2 games because of a lower leg injury, but he's been his dominant self when healthy. But again, the lack of competition, that's going to be called into question, unfortunately. I have a 3rd round grade on him. He's probably going to end up going on day 3, though. And then Ben Cleveland, this guy, he could sneak into the 2nd round, man. The dude's freaky strong, and a lot of the questions we had about him were answered this season. He might end up breaking the bench press record at the combine. He's very similar to LSU's Damian Lewis, who ended up going to the 3rd round, early 3rd round, just in 2020. I think this guy, I think Cleveland handles agility a bit better than Lewis. As we saw Lewis, he's kind of struggled with that in the NFL this season. Now, Cleveland's biggest problem was trying to stay on the field, whether it was injury or academic ineligibility. He only racked up 475 snaps one season, and that was his highest total till this year. This season, he's played 538 snaps, and he's just been dominant. Again, I think this guy maybe sneaks his way into the 2nd round. And then Drake Jackson out of Kentucky. He's a guy that's just been very consistent, playing over 2,500 snaps there at center for Kentucky. He's been one of the best pass protectors in all of college football, only allowing 3 pressures this season. And I mean, the most improvement I've really seen was him just as a run blocker, dude. I mean, despite being sub 300, he really handles 300, handles these big nose tackles. Just, I'm not going to say with these, he takes it on extremely well. I mean, this guy, he's got great agility and just the ability for him to lay a series of blocks out, like combo blocks from the 1st to 2nd level. Really nice, because we know Kentucky likes to run the football, and he really added a nastiness to his game, which was very reminiscent of a prospect I liked last year who was on the same team, Logan Steenberg. Ended up going to the 4th round in 2020. So again, man, he's handled SEC strength well. People might want to knock him for being sub 300. Maybe he gains a little weight during the offseason program or process. But I really like Drake Jackson. And then we're going to go to Trey Smith out of Tennessee. And really, we'll become more aware of where he may go because of the injury, not necessarily the injury red flag, but he has suffered from blood clots in his lungs. It kind of cost him time at Tennessee early in his career. But ever since he made the move back to guard, he's just been dominant. One of the best guards in all of college football. This guy's got tremendous strength, and he's got decent athleticism. I mean, his time spent in both at tackle and guard, because I think it was his freshman season he spent at tackle. Or no, it was maybe a sophomore season, excuse me. But they moved him back to left tackle. Dude's been great. He is a bit heavy-footed, but I mean, he doesn't have a lot of true pass sets to his name. I think that's something that'll just get better in repetition. And again, this is a guy that his style of play just translates to the NFL. He's big, he's strong. He's big and strong. It just translates. And again, I really like, he's got a great learning curve, man. He has literally gotten better year after year after year. And I hope everything checks out well at the combine in terms of the blood clots. So we'll see, but 2nd round, yeah, sounds good to me. And then Tyler Linderbaum, he might end up being my top interior prospect when it's all said and done. I'm kind of head over heels for Tyler. I mean, just look at him. He's a good-looking guy, you know? But again, dude, he's the best pure center in this class. The guy put on some weight, and he's still probably the most athletic and nimble interior player in this whole class. He's only allowed 3 pressures all season, dude, and he's just a wonderful prospect, and I might slip him in the 1st round, because these other 2 guys, they haven't. We'll get to it. So I got Wyatt Davis. I have a 1st round grade on him. I've been thinking about switching that to a second rounder because I expected his second season as a starter just to be utterly dominant like it was in 2019, and it just hasn't been that. It has been a step back. I know 2020 has been a weird year, but still the step back has been it's been significant enough. And what I mean, okay, looking at his 2019, he only allowed 15 pressures and 0 sacks all of 2019. So far this season, with less than half the snaps played than 2019, he's allowed 11 pressures and 3 sacks. He's not been nearly as good. He's been better. He's been getting better as a run blocker this year, which was kind of his calling card in 2019. But I still love the combination of strength and athleticism. Again, this was a guy I thought could take a Quentin Nelson rise. So maybe I'm just speaking from a little bit of disappointment I had with how 2020 has gone for Davis, but I still like the guy a ton as a prospect. And then my number one, it's Elijah Vera Tucker. He's very close to Davis, and I think and I was kind of talking about disappointment. I think part of that is coming from the Pac-12 championship game. This guy, he's going to be a guard in the NFL, but he's played left tackle all this season, and then he kind of got clobbered after playing phenomenal all year. Kind of got clobbered by Kayvon Thibodeau for Oregon, but that guy's a monster. He's going to be a top 10 pick in 2022. So it's like, how much do I really take that to heart? I still love this guy as a prospect. I think it's just trying to get the bad taste out of my mouth from that. So, I mean, he's playing essentially out of position he's not going to be playing in the NFL against a future top 10 talent. So I guess I can't be too mad. But in 2019, he was one of the best pure blockers in all of college football. On the interior, only allowing a pressure rate of 1.1%. The guy is just, I think he's extremely athletic. He can play a little stronger. Not saying he's not strong, but I think he can play with a bit more power, and he has this year. I think part of that was technique. He got much better with his hand placement, and you really see it in the run game for him there at USC. Overall, dude, great. Again, just like with Davis, great combination of athleticism and power. I really like Vera Tucker. I'm going to probably keep the first round grade on him when it's all said and done, but I think Linderbaum, man, is right on his heels. But yeah, that's it for the video. Go ahead, do that YouTube thing. As always, till next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.